In a moment, the story of an Air Force sergeant who experienced a bizarre phenomenon called missing time. In 1966, he vanished for the period of 1 hour. He said he had no idea what happened until placed under hypnosis 20 years later.
In Montana, the century-old legend of a lost treasure. Some believe the state's most vicious highwayman, a sheriff turned outlaw, buried $6 million in gold in a rugged
Legend has it that beneath the remote, chilly waters of Lake Michigan lies a sunken fortune. 5 chests stuffed with gold and bullion worth millions. Tonight we'll join a dangerous underwater quest to find the Poverty Island treasure.
Next, a murder investigation is complicated by the victim's religious beliefs.
And perhaps someone watching can provide a happy ending to the poignant story of Gordon Page Jr. Only after years of misdiagnosis did Gordy's parents learn that their son was suffering from autism. Then in 1991, Gordy vanished from the group home in which he had been placed. When we return, a rare behind-the-scenes look at the unsung heroes of law enforcement, coroners, investigators. In a remote campground area, an off-road enthusiast had a surreal encounter with a beautiful blonde woman and 3 angry strangers. Little did he know that this curious episode would later make him a key witness in a murder mystery.
The story of a man who was serving a life sentence for robbing a gas station. 5 eyewitnesses claim he's innocent.
Next, the shocking story of 2 happy-go-lucky teenage boys who died in a bizarre train accident. Their parents believe they were murdered. Summer 1977. In the city of New York, a year-long nightmare was coming to an end. On August 10th, a man named David Berkowitz was arrested. Police believed that he was a lone gunman behind the Son of Sam killings, a brutal series of shootings that had left 6 people dead and 7 seriously injured. Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, we continue our examination into New York's infamous Son of Sam shootings. New evidence suggests that the Son of Sam killer, David Berkowitz, was part of a satanic cult that murdered 16-year-old Jenny Pratt, hoped to become a model, until tragically she and her boyfriend were viciously attacked on a deserted road. She was in a coma for 3 months and still has no memory of the attack or her attack. Lee Selwyn, a popular Los Angeles disc jockey, had a fondness for motorcycles. Late one night, an argument led to a high-speed duel. Lee Selwyn was run down and killed. His murderer is still at large. Next, a San Francisco teenager who strayed into a world of witchcraft, magic, and mysticism. His father believes he was murdered. 17-year-old Kurt Sova disappeared after an impromptu party. 5 days later, Kurt's body was found, but no cause of death could be determined. No one knows how or why he died.
The strange and mysterious saga of the Circleville Letters. For 18 years, residents of a small town in Ohio had been deluged with anonymous death threats, slanderous accusations, and even a lethal booby trap. Many believe this vicious campaign has led to the death of one man and the unjust imprisonment of another. On the eve of Halloween, 2 intriguing ghost stories on Unsolved Mysteries. In its heyday, the old St. James Hotel in New Mexico was host to a long list of legendary gunslingers and outlaws. Today, employees report different kinds of guests, unearthly visitors that never check out. At an inn near Philadelphia, the head waitress sees a Revolutionary War soldier on the main staircase. In 1970, Clarence Roberts was found dead in a fire. Or was he? 10 years later, another fire killed his wife. In the rubble, Clarence Roberts was found for the 2nd time. How could a man die twice? Morro Bay, California is a kind of small town Alfred Hitchcock might have loved. On the surface, a picture postcard seaside fishing village. Peel back a layer, though, and a quirky cast of characters emerges.
In August of 1934, Alcatraz opened its doors. Its inmates, the most troublesome, escape-prone cons in the system, were gathered from prison.
From the annals of World War II, the fascinating legend of the Ghost Blimp. In 1942, a U.S. Navy airship crashed to Earth in California with no one on board. To this day, the fate of its crew remains. Based on his own confession, Michael Self of Webster, Texas, was convicted of murdering 2 teenage girls. The Self has always maintained that he is innocent and that the confession was coerced by a sadistic police chief. Surprisingly, both a local sheriff and a state prosecutor believe Michael Self's story is true.
Also tonight, we will tell the story of John Branion, a Chicago physician and civil rights worker who was imprisoned for murdering his wife 20 years ago, a crime he swears he did not commit. Indeed, there is compelling evidence that supports his claim of innocence. If this is true, then a man has been unjustly imprisoned. Tonight, John Branion makes
Recently,
his
12 residents near Pikes Peak, Colorado, claim to have seen evidence of a bizarre creature, half man, half ape. Could the legend of Bigfoot be more than a myth?
Some legends get better with time. Others become more and more real. Many people believe that the untamed forests of the Pacific Northwest harbor a mysterious creature known as Bigfoot. Now a team of researchers, bolstered by credible eyewitness accounts, has set out to prove that the fabled beast does exist. It is a phenomenon so bizarre that it defies belief. Ordinary people suddenly and inexplicably bursting into flame. Mainstream science says it can't happen, but independent researchers insist that the evidence doesn't lie. Spontaneous human combustion is real. During the late 1960s, thousands of curiosity seekers lined up to catch a glimpse of the legendary Iceman, a mysterious creature, reportedly half man and half ape, entombed in a block of solid ice. But when the police began to investigate just who or what was in the frozen tomb, the Iceman vanished.